And finally tonight from Mexico City, commentator Laura Carlsen with her view from the Americas.
The 17th century poet John Donne once famously wrote, "No man is an island. Every man is a piece of the continent." He was talking about how human beings shouldn't be seen as isolated, because what affects one affects all. But the phrase also has meaning in modern-day politics. Of the 35 sovereign countries of the Americas, just one, the island nation of Cuba, has been isolated for more than 5 decades. The Caribbean country was booted from the Organization of American States after it overthrew a dictator and aligned itself with the communist bloc. A resolution pushed through by the United States in 1962 stated in classic Cold War language that a Marxist-Leninist government is incompatible with the principles and objectives of the inter-American system. The U.S. government also imposed an embargo against the island, isolating it diplomatically and strangling it economically. Since then, Cuba, with a population of just 11 million people, has had a huge impact on the rest of the region. The island became a symbol of resistance to imperialism for generations of students on the Latin American left, while U.S. governments considered its mere existence offensive and repeatedly attacked its leader, Fidel Castro, and the island itself. The U.S. still maintains the illegal embargo, even though the United Nations just voted to condemn it for the 20th year in a row. The vote was 186 to 2, with the two being the United States and Israel. For years, the U.S.'s one vote has been in effect an invisible veto. But Latin America is experiencing a continental shift. As more countries assert independence from U.S. control, Cuba is the litmus test of whether the Obama administration will keep its promises of mutual respect and equal partnerships. Every other country in the Americas wants Cuba back in the fold. On June 3, 2009, the organization finally voted to cancel the 1962 resolution and open the doors to Cuba's participation. That doesn't mean it's a done deal. When several countries demanded that Cuba be invited to this past summit, the U.S. objected that it still hadn't met conditions. The Cuban government feels it shouldn't have to take the first steps to join an organization it says is U.S.-dominated. Ecuador's President Rafael Correa refused to attend the last meeting of heads of state, protesting that it can't be called a summit of the Americas if one country is intentionally and unjustifiably relegated. Shutting Cuba out of regional forums and imposing an economic blockade aren't just remnants of an obsolete Cold War. They're an unacceptable show of unilateral force and a wedge in regional relations. It's past time for the island to be allowed to rejoin the continent. For Americas Now, I'm Laura Carlsen.